positions. If you're here to testify at today's hearing, please sign up with the sergeants at the back. If you have any written testimony, you may submit it here, or if you're joining us online, you can send it to testimony@council.nyc.gov. That is testimony@council.nyc.gov. From this moment on, nobody can approach the dais. If you need something from somebody from the dais, please reach out to one of us sergeant-at-arms and we'll help you out. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We're ready to begin.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I am Councilmember Camila Hanks, Chair on the Subcommittee of Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. I would like to welcome everyone to this meeting of the Subcommittee on Landmarks. And before we begin with today's agenda, I will remind everyone that this meeting is being held in a hybrid format. For members of the public who wish to testify remotely, we ask that you first register online, and you may do so by visiting www.council.nyc.gov/land use to sign up and then sign on to Zoom and remain signed on until you have testified. For anyone who is with us today in person wishing to testify, if you not already have done so, please see one of the sergeants to fill out a speaker's card and we will call your name at the appropriate time. For anyone wishing to submit a written testimony on the items being heard today, we ask that you please send it via email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov, and please indicate the land use number and/or project name in the subject line in your email. On today's agenda, we will have one public hearing for a housing proposal in Councilmember Mealy's district in Brooklyn. And now I would like to open up the hearing. We have been joined by Councilmember Darlene Mealy. Do you want to sit closer to me? Okay. And I will pass it on to my colleague to make any statements and testimony as part of this project. Pardon me. I will now open the public hearing, the Brownsville Arts Center and Apartments proposal relating to the property in Councilmember Mealy's district in Brooklyn. The proposal consists of 3 land use items, land use action under ULURP number C240029HAK, C240030 ZMK, and N240031ZRK. We are joined today by project team members including Anthony Drummond of HPD, Saren Chow, and Catherine Gray from Gilbane Development Company. We will also have available for additional questions as needed, Alina Friska, Arvan Shwadhatwani, and Karina Leon of HPD. I will remind everyone to testify who is testifying remotely. If you not have already done so, you must register online, and you may do that now by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. Council, would you please administer the affirmation?
Panelists, would you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record? And do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Applicant panelists, please begin. Please let us know when you are ready to share your presentation, and our staff will display it on the screen.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start, or to the presentation itself.
Do you need any assistance with your presentation? Then you, okay.
Nope.
There it goes.
Okay.
Excellent. Please begin.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair Hanks and subcommittee members. My name is Anthony Drummond. I'm a senior planner at the Department of Housing Preservation and Development, and I'm joined this morning by Alina Farshadi, who is our Director of Brooklyn Planning, Hala Salad, our Deputy Director of Brooklyn Planning, and members of the development team from Blue Sea and Gilbane. And we're excited to be presenting on the Brownsville Arts and Apartments project, which was certified into ULURP on August 21st. We are seeking a series of land use actions to facilitate the development of the Brownsville Arts Center and Apartments, which will include an Urban Development Action Area designation and project approval of UDAP, disposition of city-owned land, zoning map amendment to rezone from existing R6 C2-3 and C4-3 district to an R7A and R7A C2-4, a zoning text amendment to establish the rezoning area as a mandatory inclusionary housing, MIH. These actions will facilitate a new 9-story building with approximately 282 affordable rental apartments with 1 additional unit for a superintendent, approximately 25,000 square feet of ground floor community facility space dedicated to arts and cultural uses, and several outdoor spaces. This project is being developed as a joint venture between Blue Sea Development, Gilbane, and ArtSpace. Next slide. Next slide. The site was designated through the Brownsville RFP in August 2017 and required that proposals be responsive to the visions and goals of the Brownsville Plan. This plan was developed through a community-based planning process with the support of CB16 to develop a shared vision and plan for the future of Brownsville. We held a series of public workshops, community events in conjunctions with local partnerships, and a major component of HPD's investment in the neighborhood is creating new affordable housing on vacant city-owned land. The plan asks for a cultural community facility that promoted and supported arts and cultural activity in Brownsville, in addition to affordable housing. The site is the last one of 3 city-owned sites identified in the RFP to move forward into ULURP. Next slide. All right. So the Brownsville Plan has resulted in a series of neighborhood accomplishments, such as the creation of over 2,400 new affordable homes under construction or completed with $1 billion plus invested in the Brownsville community, and over $150 million plus of city invested in parks, NYCHA open space, and streetscape. And now I will pass it on to my development colleagues on the next slide.
Good morning, Catherine Gray, Gilbane Development Company. I'm going to just start by saying, this project is a mixed-use endeavor combining affordable housing with a cultural center, and we've been...
Sorry, could you turn on your mic?
Sorry. Can you hear me? Sorry. We've been working on it since 2018 to bring as many cultural partners as possible to Brownsville. And I'm really proud to say we've got a variety of arts groups that are supportive of the work, but who, including Flex Dance Program, Downtown Brooklyn Arts Alliance, New Yorkers for Culture and Arts. But we also, in the next slide, have been working very hard to identify a broad range of anchor tenants for the cultural center. So we're bringing Brick, that will be doing multimedia. They're the group that do Free Parks concerts in Prospect Park every summer. Pure Elements, which is a homegrown dance group that does classes for children starting at 5, going all the way through high school, and then additional classes for adults. The Brooklyn Arts Council that will be offering affordable studio space. Brooklyn Music School, which is a over 100-year-old settlement house that, again, focuses on music, but will also be doing music production. And Youth Design Center, which is a graphic design outfit that is also homegrown to Brownsville. We didn't start with all of these groups in 2018. We've expanded, and we continue to be flexible and open, and as we find additional groups that are interested in taking space, we will make room for them. We're also including a large black box theater, which is also available for rehearsal space and additional educational space that will be available for groups in the community, not just arts groups, but the community board or other community-based organizations that want a free or affordable space to use. Next slide. The project as a whole is a 9-story structure. It started with 291 apartments, and it's now down to 283, which is a response to ongoing communications with the councilwoman and the community board, where they were really focused on making sure that the individual apartments were as large as possible. So working with HPD on their design guidelines, trying to redesign the spaces to maximize bedroom sizes, living rooms, et cetera. Again, it's a 25,000 square foot ground floor arts facility. And then there are a range of amenities specifically for the residents. There's laundry on every floor. There is free storage in the cellar for every apartment, assigned to every apartment in the development. We have a focus on active design, so there are fitness rooms as well as community rooms in the space. We also have a range of outdoor spaces, which we will discuss later in the presentation. Just want to stay on this slide and focus on the facade. Again, we have, the facade design has evolved, and this is the latest image, really created in response to consultation with the councilwoman and responding to critiques that we received, starting with the community board, really trying to bring a building that's beautiful and responds to the concerns and interests of the community itself. So we're building something that the residents of Brownsville want. The site is through lots on Rockaway Avenue through to Chester, just north of Pitkin Avenue. Next slide, sorry. And south of East New York. The lot area is 57,000 square feet, and the current zoning is an R6. We're going up to an R7A, which is a contextual zone. And I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Saren Choi, to finish off.
Hi. Next slide, please. So the open space that's getting developed as part of this project is in line with citywide goals of creating not only more publicly accessible space in the community, but also to create like a nicer experience for all the residents and participants of the Art Center. So the first type of open space that's available is a 5,100 square foot public plaza. It's right off Rockaway, and the idea is to kind of create, Rockaway Avenue, and the idea is to create kind of like a segue into the cultural facility, so it's right next to the theater space. Not only will it be accessible for the public to use, but the idea is so the arts operators could have like maybe a flexible indoor-outdoor component to any of the performances. And then the second category of like open space is approximately 11,900 square foot inside the building area. It's not only will there be private, passive recreational space for the residents, like the apartment residents, there'll also be outdoor space that's kind of designated for the arts facility users to use. So there'll be a little over 2,000 square feet of an amphitheater space, so people can have small performances outdoors, and also more passive outdoor space for the arts facility operators in order for them to use it if they wanted to have an outdoor exhibit or gallery showing or anything of that nature. It's important to note that everything will be landscaped. The idea is to kind of increase the permeability to offset any stormwater issues that occur during the course of the rainy seasons. But the landscape design is not only centered around making sure that the neighborhood residents can use the space, but also that it's a very enjoyable space for the arts operators and for the residents. Again, my slide. There's also, next slide, please. There's another 3 components of the project that's really important to highlight is the social services component. So approximately 42 apartments will be set aside for supportive housing run by the Brooklyn Community Housing Services. What that means is that not only will there be set aside for people who need additional support, but there will be on-site supportive office where case managers from the Brooklyn Community Housing Services will be there to offer on-site supportive services. The project is designed to the highest sustainability standards. The key ways to look at this is from a heating and cooling perspective, so it will be designed to passive house, which means that the building's insulation and windows and the way that's oriented around the sunlight is designed to minimize the amount of energy needed to heat and cool the building, but also there is renewable energy component to it. We are using a canopy solar system on the roof that will generate somewhere between 300 to 400 kilowatt hours of energy to offset any energy usage to heat and cool the building. In addition to that, to address the city's concern around climate change affecting the city's landscape, we are incorporating on-site detention tanks to minimize the amount of rain that can go onto streets and create flooding. Permeability is not only enhanced on the ground where there is, the outdoor passive landscaping, but also on the roof. There's a green roof to kind of try to absorb as much water that comes down to avoid it from, creating flooding issues on the street. But also there's a workforce development component. So we have partnered with CBEDC, the local economic development corporation, to identify not only MWBE contractors who'd be interested in bidding on the projects to ensure that the investments that we're making stay within the local community, but also to provide free OSHA training. The idea is OSHA certification is a kind of a key component for anyone who's interested in entering into the construction industry. So we kind of remove that kind of barrier to entry through the project. We also are partnering with the Brownsville Community Justice Center. We are providing some on-hand marketing and placemaking experience for the local youths. So they'll get paid like a stipend to kind of learn and work with us on the project and kind of get out the word and do some placemaking around the project. And then in addition to that, we have a local hiring commitment for construction and permanent jobs, where within CB16, approximately 50% of the jobs will be open for those residents who live there. So again, the idea is to not only ensure there's a big investment in Brownsville, but keep the investment within the neighborhood.
Just like to supplement what Saren said. We were at the community board meeting earlier this week where there was an update on the Brownsville plan, and many of the community board members commented on the fact that they felt they still weren't being heard, that there were all these accomplishments, and yet their basic needs were still not being met. And I just wanted to say, the end of the ULURP is not the end of the consultation from our point of view. We're building a community center, this cultural center, which we hope is really going to flourish and be both a place where people are making art but consuming art, and everyone feels welcome. And we know that doesn't happen in a day in a space, in a community where there haven't been a lot of opportunities for formal cultural spaces. So, I just wanted to leave some thoughts that, we're continuously working in the community, working with local elected officials to identify other arts groups that we should be communicating with who might want to be part of this larger process, but also committed on the workforce side to work with the Workforce One office, with New York City Housing Authority's Reese Department, which has a very large footprint in this community, really to make sure that we use this project as an economic tool to improve the financial capacity in the community. It's not just arts and it's not just housing. So, thank you. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Catherine. So in response to the council member and the community board's feedback, we have also made changes to provide deeper affordability while also maintaining the proportion of family-sized units. So the proposed project will be developed under HPD's Extremely Low and Low Income Affordability Program, under ELA. Approximately 74% of the units will be affordable to individuals and families earning up to 60% of the AMI. That's up to $76,260 for a family of 3. The project will include a range of units from studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and over a third of those units are family-sized units. And 15% of the units will be set aside for formerly homeless individuals and family. So, next slide. All right, to summarize, we're here today before you as we conclude our ULURP process for the Brownsville Arts Center and Apartments and seek the approval of the land use actions from the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sittings, and Dispositions. We are currently in the 50-day review period with the City Council, which the ULURP clocks ends March 19th. of this year, 2024, at which point we would anticipate the conclusion of the ULURP process. We thank you again for this opportunity to present before you, and we can open it up to any questions that you might have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your testimony. I just want to recognize that we are now joined by Councilmember Felice, Councilmember Marte, Nurse, and Salam is joining us virtually. I will now pass it over to Councilmember Mealy for the first round of questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, this committee. As you just said, that you just went to the community board and you told us that you were not going to speak about this project. So what was the whole intent to go into the community board if you were not going to tell them about the upgrades that you say that you was going to do with the square feet of the apartments? My issue is, who can live in a 2-bedroom apartment only 800 square feet? If that was what you said you was going to do when you did the charade come in with the commissioner, why wouldn't you tell this community about this? Wouldn't that be something to tell the community? That instead of 800 square feet, 2-bedroom apartment, y'all have made it bigger?
I attended
I don't understand why this hearing came up so fast if y'all haven't did certain things already.
the community board's meeting was a presentation and an update on the Brownsville plan. I spoke only to announce that the hearing was happening today for the ULURP and inviting people to come.
And could you tell me, you, the commissioner, HPD, the mayor's office, came to my office, and now you're saying that you could do 1,000 parking, right? It's in here. Chair, did you look and see that? 1 parking space required for every 1,000 feet of commercial space. Will that happen? This is your proposal.
Could you provide more feedback or
No,
context?
it's your proposal. You gave us this. Yes, go back to your slide. It's your proposal, and you know that's the main thing. This is right next door to my office.
Appendix slide.
So I had asked, any day, it takes me 15 minutes to get out of the parking space on a public street. And I asked, this is our last opportunity to have parking. And I believe Brownsville deserves parking, in which they are now taking away NYCHA parking and building housing, and people are losing their cars. People are triple parking. So I asked you, we need parking, and now in your proposal, you say you're going to give us 1 parking space required for every 1,000 square feet of commercial space. And this is a commercial building also, mixed use, right?
It's nonprofit and residential.
It's mixed use. It's going to be commercial on the bottom and housing on top. A theater on the bottom, housing on top.
Hi,
I got
Councilmember.
2 more questions.
If you would like to testify, would you like to just be sworn in?
Yes, please,
provide,
thank you.
Panelists, would you
Please hold 1 second, thanks.
raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Alina Farishta.
Arvind Sindwani.
And do you both affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and an answer to all council member questions?
Yes,
Thank you. Sorry
Yes.
about that.
thank you. So Councilmember, just want to clarify in terms of the zoning requirements and the land uses here. So this is a residential building plus community facility. There were no parking requirements per zoning for the development.
So why? Because you building housing, and this is the last opportunity to have parking. Other than that, you could do parking there.
So I think, I know.
That is the required, just because it's the housing now. But other than that, you could have done parking, yes or no?
Yes, parking is an option. We, and I know we've had this
And I'm
discussion
asking
before.
for that option to be
Sure.
included
So,
in this proposal, that's all.
Yes, we understand, and I think, we've had this discussion before that HPD and the team have been thinking about various alternative scenarios. There are many things that we had to prioritize, including deeper affordability, larger units, making sure we have really low, affordable rents for the nonprofit space and cultural partners as well, for the long term. All of those things affect the financial feasibility of the project as well. We also have a public plaza. We have, other residential amenity spaces, including amenity spaces for the community facilities. While balancing all of these needs, we were prioritizing a lot of the feedback we heard from, the years-long worth of feedback from the Brownsville plan, but also through
you
this
just
process.
heard out of her mouth that the community, when you went last night, they still not satisfied. They feel we could get much more from this. Talking about the MWBEs, y'all already have that set already. Y'all came and told me how many people gonna be in it already, and for the record, everyone should know the space will be free, right? You said it's free. Y'all got $12 million, and everyone who wanna go in this space will be for free. So let's give them just a little bit more. And one other thing I wanna talk about is how big is the apartments? You didn't put that in here. And
Yes.
you should be celebrating it. I came in here to think that y'all was doing the right thing in which y'all said y'all was gonna do. That's a celebratory lap you could have done. But now
Next
not
slide,
having
please.
how much space that y'all extended for 2-bedroom apartments, and I really need to know how much the 3-bedroom apartments, how big is that space? And if it's any way you could go down a floor.
Sure. So next slide, please. The ranges of each of the unit
Square
types.
feet.
Yes. Next slide, please. So the studios range from 368 square feet to 416 square feet.
Oh,
The
God.
1-bedrooms range from 501 square feet to 574 square feet. The 2-bedrooms range from 656 square feet to 765 square feet, and the 3-bedrooms range from 874 square feet
The
to
bedroom, a
1,041 square
3-bedroom,
feet.
800 square feet.
Next
Are you-
slide, please.
Oh my, I'm done.
Sorry, you have to
Okay,
keep
can
going
we-
until the unit layout.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Can I
Could you
just
go to
ask a
slide
question?
22?
Oh, there you
There we
go.
go.
Thank you. Can you talk about this slide, please? As it relates to the 3-bedroom as opposed to the 2?
Yes, next
No
slide
one
has the
can
3
live like that.
bedrooms.
That's just.
Thank you.
So the Department of Housing Preservation and Development has a design guidebook with maximum and minimum sizes for apartments that they apply when developers seek subsidy for affordable housing. We've been studying the layouts of the building and have been doing our best to push for the layouts of the apartments to be on the maximum end of the size guidelines, and in many cases exceeding the standard HPD space requirements. This is an example of a 3-bedroom.
Hold off one second. I'm sorry, pardon me. Can you repeat? You were saying the standard. Can we just go back to that for a moment? Can we just, for the public and for my edification, what is the standard size for an HPD unit that is considered affordable? For each,
Apartment size.
Apartment
We'll go
size,
through-
please.
We'll go through
We'll
the
get that
list.
information. in
because
one
I think
second.
that's a really important chart to display here.
I appreciate that.
We have serious questions from the council member who is duly elected in that district to represent her constituency, and her constituency is saying that this is not acceptable. So what we want to get to is yes, and so we really need to have explained to satisfy not only the council member, but satisfy the community board members and the members of the community that have the questions.
Absolutely,
So if we
Chair.
could just have a slide like that at some point, so Because this is a little confusing.
Absolutely, and we'll pull up the numbers right now. In the meantime, Councilmember Mealy, these apartment layouts that you're seeing on the screen are the same ones that we showed you at your district office with the commissioner, and we are showing the new.
But your testimony just said a 3-bedroom apartment was 800 square feet. So that means the 2-bedroom apartment is even pretty much 600. You didn't say anything about 1,000 as of yet.
Yes, council member, I want to reiterate the 3-bedroom ranges from 874 square feet to 1,041 square feet. So there's a range for each of these different, not all the 3 bedrooms are the same size.
Well, that should be here today. This is the time for everything to be put out on display. Respectfully to my colleagues that they don't think that this is a farce here, but you just vocally said 800 square feet for a 3-bedroom apartment. Who can live in that? That's a box. A 2-bedroom is a box. 600 square feet. So I feel y'all need to revamp and bring forth what you really gonna do and let everyone see it. This is not the time to be confused. I feel, Chair, I'm not accepting this, and the community already stated they're not accepting this. This is the opportunity for them to really put their best foot forward and show the city what you're trying to do in Brownsville. And I'm not gonna let you just come in and rape and put us in boxes in which you say one thing and now it's a totally different thing. Thank you, Chair, for giving me the leverage and the latitude to say this, but I have no more questions because this is not nowhere near what the community requested.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Councilmember, I pulled up the numbers for the different.
I think that I do have some questions, and I know that my colleagues have questions, so I want to get through those first, and then just kind of make you understand that there are going to be additional work that needs to be done on this to see the juxtaposition as opposed to what you believe is the proper way to go and what changes the council member wants to have. I think that is something that we just need to see. And as a result of that, we will then see what the reduction is of affordability in comparison to the additional pieces that the council member wants to put in, which is parking and larger apartment sizes. But there is a trade-off, but my understanding, yeah, and the WNBEs, but there will be a trade-off in the affordability component. So I'm just going to go along with some of my questions, and I'm going to pass it along to my colleagues. And again, thank you very much, and I thank my my colleague, Councilmember Mealy, for advocating so strongly for her district. So I understand that this site is part of revitalization of Brownsville. When did HPD first approach the community board with this proposed project?
So HPD went through a community engagement process through the Brownsville Plan from 2016 to 2017. We released a request for a public, released an RFP, and through that process, we designated this team in 2017.
Are there any other sites which are part of this plan?
Yes. There are 2 other sites, city-owned sites, that were part of the Brownsville Plan. Site B, Glenmore Manor, and Site C, a cluster of sites on Livonia Avenue.
Thank you. Is there a reason why this plan took so long?
For this project specifically?
Yes, HPD. How long?
Thank you. Yeah, so the pre-development process, it's a very lengthy process. We know. We wish it could be a lot quicker. During this time, we do a lot of site surveying, due diligence. We work on putting together a site plan. We work with sister agencies such as city planning to make sure we're having a technically complete application, since we are seeking various land use actions, including a rezoning. And there was also the pandemic during that time, which slowed down our process a little bit, but we're here before you now, excited to present this project and hopefully move forward.
So, quick question, from the time from 2016 to being conceptualized to an RFP in 2017, we're now in 2024, how many reiterations did we have of this project? Because we're not living in a world of 2017 anymore. And so how many steps or proposals did we see in that?
So in 2018, we had a development of about 225 units. And it grew in size, in part to respond to the demand for affordable housing in New York City. The ULURP is following the guidance that came out of the planning process, where the rezoning anticipated was identified in the RFP. So as part of the consultation with the community, there was an understanding that it would go to an R7A even before the RFP went out. And then within that zoning, we realized that we could do more than the 224 units, that we could get close to 300. And so that was a conversation with HPD about figuring out how to remass the building to accomplish that. We have laid out the apartments a number of times as we've evolved the size of the building. We have revised the facade really 5 times from where we started. And through that period from 2018 to 2024, we have gone to the community board over time to provide updates of where we are, so that they could, keep tabs on what we were doing, working with people in the community, with local elected officials, to keep them apprised. And so the evolution of the project does in part reflect going back to the drawing board to address the concerns that we've heard within the context of the criteria that the city provides for the development of affordable housing.
So, Chair, in short, to answer your question, the project has gone through numerous changes since the Brownsville plan, and since we've started engaging Councilmember Mealy and the community board, and it's still undergoing changes to make sure that we're honoring the council members' requests throughout the ULURP process.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Before I recognize my colleagues to see if they have any questions, I'd like to recognize Madam Chair. Majority Leader Amanda Farias has joined us. Now I would like to recognize any of my colleagues. Councilmember Felice.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chair, for this hearing, and I want to thank Councilmember Mealy for really listening to your community and bringing their voices and amplifying their voices in the City Council and in this context, in this hearing. Just curious, I had a similar scenario in my district. I'm just wondering if we've looked into maybe modifying the plan, making the apartments bigger. I mean, that looks like, I don't know the area well, but that looks like a large lot, and that's also a tall building. So I'm just wondering if we've looked into potentially modifying the plan, making the apartments bigger. I mean, these bedrooms look like closets, and this is obviously a building for low-income families. Low-income families deserve to live in dignity. So yeah, just wondering if we've looked into maybe modifying the plan. I mean, again, you have a lot of space from left to right and from top to bottom.
So we did reduce the unit count from 291 down to 283 to make apartments larger. And it is a large site, which is what allows us to produce the unit count that we've
Yeah.
proposed.
Any way we could make additional progress on that, make them a little bit bigger, just to make sure that the community is happy with the project?
I think it goes back to the larger conversation of, in the balance, the various goals that we are attempting to achieve. So there are a range of issues that we are addressing. One of them is the general affordability level of the apartments. Another is the individual size of apartments. Another is the design and the appearance of the building. Another is related to the economic development opportunities within the project, both related to the cultural center and the jobs related to construction and management and maintenance of the building. So all of those things are going into the mix, and the number one priority that we've heard has been to make the units as affordable as possible. One question that we hear, is this project affordable to me as a Brownsville resident? Which means bringing the AMI levels down substantially. And if we divert the money to address that issue, then in the balance, other things.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, hope that we could continue looking into that issue in this building and this project, but also in other projects. Again, we create housing for low-income people, and these families deserve to live in dignity. They deserve a large room, not a room that looks like a closet, not a room that you could barely fit in a twin bed or something like that. Thank you.
I'd just like to add, Councilmember, that, HPD does deeply care about quality of life and the livability of these apartments, making sure all of them, have light and air. Our design guidelines are meant for all of the units that we finance through city subsidies. There are set guidelines, and as Catherine mentioned, we've increased the units of all of the units from what we initially had. Now, each of these units have at least 2+ closets for a 1-bedroom. The 3 bedrooms shown here have at least 4 closets. They each have free storage in the basement as well, and there are laundry, on each floor. There's a lot of other things here that we're adding, including, meeting our sustainability goals. All of these things are being balanced, and we do care about, livability, and of course we'll continue to strive for the best project that we can do here.
Thank you so much. Is that all, Councilmember? Next, we're going to hear from Majority Leader Amanda Farias.
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of quick questions, and my apologies if you've spoken about this before, as I was at another hearing and I've just come in. In terms of the unit type for studios, I see that we have 69 in totality. I hear other members talking about expanding space. Typically, studios are the most transient apartments that are in our buildings. Is there flexibility here to reduce the studio counts to maybe give more space for some of the other apartments, or create maybe consolidating studios to make 1-bedrooms versus just having studios? Or is this to your HPD term sheet requirements to have this many studio apartments?
So HPD projects try and balance the unit mix.
Yep, that
There's
we know.
a demand across the board for affordable studios, 1-bedrooms, 2-bedrooms, and 3-bedrooms. We have made unit mix changes in the past to increase the number of family-sized units in the project. We can definitely take a look to see where there's room, throughout the duration of the ULURP process. Right now, we're focused on bringing the total number of 30% AMI units up to increase the total affordability in response to Councilmember Mealy's requests.
I mean, in my own personal perspective, I see the homeless set aside, the number of 42 is listed under studio. Whether you are previously unhoused, currently unhoused, you're an elderly person, everyone likes a separation in their own bedroom in an apartment. So where there is flexibility, I would encourage you folks to try to bring that number down to help either with the sizing across the board and other units, which might mean we get less units out of this, but additionally, just to actually provide some dignity in some of these apartments. We've all, as living in New York, as New Yorkers, we've all lived in a variety of apartments. I had a studio before too. I thankfully had a door in my previous studio, so it was separate from the rest of my living arrangements, but that's not the case for everyone. And if I can just ask additional questions. In the C4, in your commercial overlay here, what were the commercial goals that you folks have listed? Is it like a supermarket? I mean, you're already doing laundry, so you don't need a laundromat downstairs. What are the goals for the commercial space?
It was to create a cultural center, so
Just
the
a
full
cultural
ground
center.
floor is the arts space.
Okay, and you're working with, is that Development Action Area project for this?
We're working with Pure Elements, Brick, Musics, the Brooklyn Music School, a Youth Design Center, Brooklyn Arts Council.
Okay. And is this the commercial overlay is the entire bottom floor of the building?
That's the typical map on a zoning, yes.
Okay, is there room to reduce the square footage for this part of the project to add residential units? Like if you have two separate entrances, one for residential, that gives you extra units on the bottom floor next to commercial space?
So, Councilmember, I appreciate that sentiment. The current uses that we identified for the art space on the ground floor were identified through the Brownsville plan. That was a strong request from the community through our engagement to develop a big art space that's affordable to arts organizations in the neighborhood as like an anchor tenant to bring folks from the community into the front door of the art space. It's also part of the mayor's gun violence plan as well, to activate the neighborhood and to bring arts opportunities to residents of Brownsville. So we want to make sure that while we are delivering high quality apartments for residents of Brownsville and future residents of Brownsville, we also want to make sure that we're delivering on our commitment to bring a high quality and robust art space. So I think there's trade-offs there of, reducing the community facility space. There might also be zoning restrictions.
Sure.
But I will just say that there are real trade-offs of exchanging community facility space for more residential units, and we want to deliver on both.
Yeah, no, I'm not questioning the intentionality of the project or even the intentions of the community residents who have said we will forego residential space because we deserve and want and desire an arts and cultural space. Those things are existing at the same time in this building. It's in its development. I ask in terms of just in flexibility, whether the zoning allows it or not, whether the community would be that's something that I believe. Like if this was my project, I would go back to community and say, hey, this came up and it's allowable. Are we willing to forego some space to get only 2 or 3 more units, right? Because that's really, it wouldn't be readapting an entire space in that way that we get 20 more. But I only ask those things because we are talking about, spatial equity here. We're all talking about like affordability. But I appreciate that answer. And I have, my follow-up question was if there were going to be loading areas, because I wasn't sure if there was going to need any for that commercial space. But thank you for the additional time, Chair.
You're welcome, Majority Leader. Next, we'll hear from Councilmember Nurse.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I've been hearing about this project for a while. It's not technically in my district, it's in Darlene's district, but it will impact many of the Brownsville residents that I do have who have been asking for arts and culture space, so thank you for bringing that. I always have a gripe about the studios and 1-bedrooms being the bulk of projects, but I would like to just in honoring the council members' concerns, understand if you could just give a quick breakdown of the square footage that you added and to what type of units. So just because I walked in late, so I might have missed it, but where you did respond previously to the request for increased square footage and in what units. So was it only, because you had the 3-bedroom on here and I wasn't clear if in that slide, it said on one side 961, the other side was 1041 square foot. Was that is that what was increased? And was it only in the 3 bedrooms or it was in the others? So if you could just break down where you did increase square footage.
Thank you, Councilmember. Before, I'm just going to start by just for the record reading into what the HPD design guidelines are for each of these units. So for a studio, it ranges from 350 to 400
No,
square
I
feet.
know I know the guidelines. Please don't read them to me because I know them.
We just want to
take
put it
issue
in
with them.
context to what we're providing
I know the
because they're
context.
greater
If you could
than-
just tell me what you adjusted.
So in general, we looked at the existing layouts and we moved the walls, specifically related to the living rooms first,
Right.
to expand those beyond the standard HPD guidelines. And then as we moved those walls, we then took from apartments on either side to then shift the bedrooms out. So depending, the floors from 2 to 5 have one set of layouts, and then at the setback, we have another set of layouts from 6 to 9. So generally, we took away studio apartments to stretch out the remaining units.
And the ones that you were able to stretch out by a reduction of the studios, were those 2s, 1s, or 3s?
So
Or
it
was a
depended
mix?
on the proximity. It wasn't as,
Wasn't
it's
a
based on
one-to-one,
proximity related to the other apartments,
which was
how
next
the
to it.
units got
Understood.
bigger.
Okay. So you wouldn't be able to provide, I think it's just really important because if this is going to be a sticking point for moving forward a project that I think is personally great, I would love to be able to have those receipts of where did you make improvements, which units were improved, if we could request that in the follow-up so that the body can have that when we deliberate. I think it's really important to be able to honor if there are specific gripes about the project. I would love to see what you did to address those so we can at least say there was some action taken.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We can create a follow-up report to share with the committee.
Thank you, Councilmember Nurse, and I echo those sentiments. You know, it's really interesting that penciling out means something different from whether you sit on that side or whether you sit on this side. And, you know, you can't pencil out a community. It has to be equitable on both sides of that. And so there is some space in the middle. And so I want to acknowledge the requests of my colleagues, and so we would like a letter explaining the design guidelines, just for the record. What was changed, we want to see them both sides. We would like to see what it would look like with parking, and what was the other piece? And the MWBEs. I did have a quick question. Who is going to be working on the placemaking component of the cultural community?
So we're working with the Youth Design Center with candidates from the Brownsville Community Justice Organization. So they're the young people that will receive the stipends that Sharon mentioned, working on that placemaking exercise. We're also working with Youth Design Center on a website for the project.
Okay, thank you so much. This project is wonderful. I think that we're almost there. And, you know, before we deliberate again, we would like to, one moment, I'm just going to finish my thought, that we would like to have all of that laid out, what the council member wants to see, and sooner rather than later. And with that, I'll pass it back to Majority Leader and Councilmember Mealy after Councilmember Farias.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I just was reading through with the public review from the community board. Do you folks have an image of what the facade, the outside of the building, looks like or designed to be?
If we could go to the slide, which slide?
And my question is around the feedback from the community board was a redesign or update of the facade to minimize institutional appearance.
Correct.
What's your response to that, and are you readapting what it looks like? And I actually would like to see what it looks like.
Yes,
We could
we'll
go
bring
to
it up on
slide
the screen.
7, please.
Sorry, I was like,
Are we able to go to slide 7?
One moment, please.
Thank you. Oh. There it is. Thank you.
Okay, so in terms of, is this the revised version?
Yes, it
Of
is.
what the community?
Yes.
From their feedback? Okay. And
Yes,
have-
in consultation with the councilwoman.
Okay, and we've represented this to the community board and to the council member? Just you, okay. I mean, I'm a bit of a traditionalist sometimes, so I love me some red brick, but, I have Parkchester in my district, but it's all red brick. I would recommend going back to the community board to see if that's something that they feel comfortable with outside of just the council member and how she personally feels. We all know that readapting a building's facade also means at times unit count and what that means, affordability and what that means of removal of unit count. But if anyone in a community, especially in our outer boroughs, or where our community members of color live, feel like a building is representative of an institution or institutionalization or an incarceral institution, we need to take that feedback really seriously.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They call it brutalistic architecture.
Well, I just wanted to say, I thought this was the opportunity for y'all to come in with all this information that we don't be spinning our wheels. And I don't know if you're just trying to spin out the clock, or all these things could have been presented today that we could have been moving forward. The affordability, you saying something verbally and looking on your phone when it's supposed to be right here before us, that we could look at it judgmentally and decide. And we got to think about, maybe the community don't want art anymore. That was 2017, and y'all saying that, and things changed since then. I know people would rather have affordable housing to stay in their neighborhood, in which they've been through the bad and the good, and now would love to stay there. Affordable. And a lot of things that you saying now is my first time hearing it. When you came to my office, we didn't even have 30% on the agenda. It was 40%. So kudos to that. But I feel we should do a little less studios and give people decent housing. And that's all I can really say about this. And I definitely, always from day one, you did change what I said from the beginning, how it looked. I'm okay with that. And then parking. This is our last opportunity in the city to do parking. And I feel we should include parking in this proposal. It's not that you can't, it's just that you don't want to. And you're making all this money off our people, but still inconveniencing our people with not having parking. So that's one of my things that I have put down. And I know we could, if you started off with 224, correct me if I'm wrong, why we can't go back to that and let people have decent housing? If you could explain that to me, I'm good. From 224 to now 283. That's, to me, just greed. You're not thinking about the people of the community. If HPD was going with the 224, this project was good. and now it's up to 283.
Thank you so much. And with any other questions or comments? Thank you. The applicant panel is now excused. Thank you so much. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
Chair Hanks, there are approximately 5 witnesses who have signed up to speak. We're going to start with 3. There are approximately 5 public witnesses who have signed up to speak. We're going to start with 3 members who have signed up in public. If you are a member of the public who signed up to testify on the proposal, please stand by when you hear your name being called and prepare to speak when the chair says you may begin. As a reminder, in the event that council members have questions, witnesses are asked to remain online or to stay seated here at the microphone after the testimony until excused by the chair. We will now hear from the first panel, Masitu Glover, Kofi Williams, and Kevin Joseph. Please come up.
Members of the public will be given 2 minutes to speak. Please do not begin until the Sergeant at Arms has started the clock. You may begin.
Hi, I'm Masiki Glover, and I live in Brownsville, Brooklyn, close to where the project's going to be. So let me start with I have 2 children. They're aged 12 and 13, and I'm speaking in favor of the Cultural Arts Center. We very much do want it. My kids attend charter schools in downtown Brooklyn. I chose to do that when they started kindergarten because I wanted access to diversity and to cultural things. And so I schlepped them to downtown Brooklyn. They've had access to BRIC, to BAX, which is in Park Slope. They've been to BAM programs and participated in all kinds of arts programs because I schlepped them there. And so many of my neighbors don't do the schlepping. And I think that we do need such a space, if it's truly free, if it's truly accessible, we just say all that, because it has to be affordable. We can't, I get my kids scholarships, to be honest. I write, and I get them scholarships so they can participate in these programs. So if these programs are gonna be in the Cultural Arts Center, they should be free. Several of my neighbors have gone far off into the Bronx, one neighbor I'm thinking in particular, to participate in programs that were full of theater and dress rehearsals and of that nature, and having to schlep to the Bronx. She wasn't able to continue to keep that up, and her daughter's now pregnant or just had a child. I have neighbors who have children that are jailed or dropped out of high school, and so we need spaces that our kids can go to and engage in and learn from and feel like it belongs to them and that there's something they can do, technical, besides just creative. I was thinking about technical skills you can learn in theater and of that nature. And so I'm in favor of this greatly. I obviously want you all to work with the developers. The things you're saying are absolutely true. So we do want spaces. My daughter would die for her own bedroom with some space. And honestly, she would die for a closet if it was just all alone to herself. So I will say that. But thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Kofi Williams. I'm the executive director of Asasiya Cultural Arts Foundation, and we work through most of the central Brooklyn, including Brownsville, but we work directly with BRIC, with Pure Elements, with Brooklyn Arts Council, and I'm totally in favor of the Cultural Arts Center because I know what it does for community. I know growing up in Bed-Stuy and Brownsville area, what is done for me as a child and for the tens of thousands of children and families that we service every year. This being a part of the community and children being able to have an outlet where they're not on the streets, having an outlet where they could go and really express themselves through the arts, because as we know, the arts helps you to express yourself. And we've got some great talents from Brooklyn. So I don't know much about the housing part, which, you know, I hope that just hearing it from today, I really hope that it could be worked out and people could live in some things that's great, but I know that the arts is a big part of what I do for the development of children all over Brooklyn, but mainly in central Brooklyn. I live in your district, Councilmember Millie, so I see the things that go on. I see what happens in the district, but Brownsville has been a stronghold for a very long time, but it's a beautiful place with very talented people. And I know given the opportunity to be able to come and have free classes, video classes, to have dance classes, music classes, theater, all of the different things, to be able to come to have shows. My company just now, because it's difficult to rent places like BAM and other very expensive places, to have another theater in our community would be amazing for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more.
Good morning, Council. Councilmember Mealy, welcome back. It's been a pleasure to work with you in the past. I'm just going to start. My name is Kevin A. Joseph, Executive Director of Pure Elements in Evolution and Dance, son of Sylvia Joseph, who migrated to the U.S. in 1970. In 1980, we moved to Eastern Europe, Brooklyn, and I spent the next 10 years in NYCHA housing. Immediately fell in love with breakdancing as my outlet. Like so many other kids, I ran the streets, looking to learn, looking to battle, with our cardboard boxes, back spinning, and the most electric b-boy dancing had to offer. But the streets was my dance studio. And that came with some positives, and it came with a lot of negatives. I was extremely fortunate to find mentors to nurture me and guide me into institutions for dance training to further my career, and I ended up performing in the most magical places around the country and around the world. But so many of my friends were not fortunate. And other than BRC, Brownsville Recreation Center, which is currently closed, there wasn't much that gave access to spaces for cultivation and maturation. Pure Elements was formed in 2006 with the focus on East Brooklyn for one purpose, and that was to create access with a mastery of teachers to pave the way. But sadly, some of our obstacles are the same as the 1980s, space and resources. Even though we rent space out of IS 392 in Brownsville for the past maybe 15 years, it has become common practice to use cafeteria floor as a dance room or to move classroom desks every time we make space, and then God forbid we don't replace the room back exactly how we found it. I mean, you know what happens after that. I understand some of the concerns this project brings, apartment sizes, ratios of studios, 2 versus 3 bedroom apartments, but unfortunately we are at the 9th hour. And our community has spoken. Let's use this project to make future corrections for future community projects and not let our community go another day without tangible and credible support from our leaders. I'm finishing right now. The Brownsville Arts Center is not just another development project, it's a culture restoration project. It's a safe haven, it's a beacon of light in a community that's been dark for way too long. And for my closing, as our government has said, the fabric of the city is the arts. So let's invest in the fabric of the city, and that's our kids.
Thank you.
Thank
I couldn't
you.
agree more. Be excused.
Wait, you ask if there's any questions.
Are there any council members who have any questions for this panel?
Did you know it's a dance studio on Livonia Avenue
Did not?
in Rockaway?
No.
Yes.
Named?
Victory Dance Music,
Okay, I'll look them up.
brand new. East New York had, I always sent youth over there just as well, and you know PS 28, that's where you started, right?
PS 28? No, IS 382 has been our home. Our office is on Fulton Street, the building of PS 28, but all of our servers are out of IS 392 on Sutter and Legion.
So y'all aware that it will be free? Will that help y'all tremendously?
Based on the conversation with the developers, the work is so we can reduce our tuition, but with our strategic planning, we actually want to make more partnerships with foundations so our students are tuition free for as many years as we can get them.
So if the space is free, why wouldn't it pass on to the constituents?
It's
for
already
free?
going to be passed on as tuitions, passed on to the constituents would really reduce
About
tuition.
How much would
Right
a
now, we
family
are-
of 4 children would have to pay?
Right now, we are at $100 a month, and that's 2 to 3 classes per Saturday. Where if you're at the Alvin Ailey's or the Mark Morris's, the more commonly known places, you're gonna spend up to $2,000 per 6 months.
So now, if this go into play, what will it be, $25
$25?
for families?
Well, being that we wouldn't have to pay rent, we haven't got to that stage yet about what would the price would be for tuition at that stage.
Well, that's what was presented to me at our meeting with the commissioner, that it would be free. They got $18 million that the people utilizing the facility would be for free.
That's our goal.
If I'm wrong.
That's our goal, to work with our foundations to ensure that the tuition remains free.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even better. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what the community need, such as a time like this. We can never leave art out of this society. That's expression. I did it myself with you.
Correct.
We should have won, though. We did Dancing with the Stars. But
We were gonna win. We were
we
gonna win.
cut off, well, I got my finger cut off, and Mayor Bloomberg made sure I got my finger back, so it's still here. But it's needed. I enjoyed it myself. So to have our youth at a safe place in the community would be great. But it's good that you can have it for a great price, that it can trickle down to the community. That's what real community is about. If
Exactly.
we have an opportunity that the parents could afford it, the place would be packed. And that would keep our community safe and our youth off the street. So thank you for all what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. There being no more questions for this panel, this witness panel is now excused. Council, please call up the next panel.
Yes, we're going to be calling up our virtual panel next and then moving back to in-person. So now could Lucy Sexton please be prepared to give her testimony?
You may begin.
Lucy, could you please unmute? We're going to give it a couple more seconds. Lucy, we're not able to hear you. Are you able to unmute? Okay, I think we're going to move to our in-person panel while Lucy tries to work on her technical issues. We'll now call up Quardine Lewis Allen, please.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Quardine Lewis Allen. I'm grateful to be here, speak with you all and the member. I am the founder and executive director for the Youth Design Center, formerly known as Made in Brownsville. I'm a Brownsville resident, born and raised, and I started the organization, which is a award-winning nonprofit youth-led creative agency training and employing young people in design and technology through STEAM education to lower the barriers to design and technology professions, some of which I faced when I was growing up in Brownsville. Particularly, my mode of interest was architecture, and in order to study arts, I needed to leave the community. I had to go to Bed-Stuy Restoration Center for a sculpture class, right? And I think some of the amenities and the services that we offer are going to be integral to the space being utilized to its full capacity by our community. Arts is in demand. I know that because look at our applications for our creative apprenticeship program in graphic design, digital media, and architecture, and we're not able to service all the young people that we encounter because of lack of funding and a lot of money going towards us paying rent for the facility that we have on New Lots Avenue. I think support around the capital application for this project would really help to reduce those costs to make it free or affordable for us anchor tenants, but also for us to be able to offer, continue to offer our programs for free. We stipend all of our apprentices. They get between $600 and $850 for each studio that they take with us. And so this is, yeah, a really important project for us.
Colleagues, do we have any questions for this panel?
I was just, could you clarify, you said your stipends are for $600 to $800?
Per studio, yeah, 600. Some of our immersive or advanced studios, they go up to $1,000, and students are able.
The community individuals have to pay to utilize.
We stipend them. We give them the money. So we have support from NBC, Universal, and Apple, and Microsoft, and we're seeking support from the member as well to support us continuing to stipend students to learn, paying them to be trained in these professions that are in high demand that we know in design and technology to enter into the creative economy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
With there being no more questions for this panel, this witness panel is now excused. Thank you so much. Please call up the next panel.
We'd like to give another opportunity for the virtual witness, Lucy Sexton, to try and unmute and give testimony. And as a reminder, we will accept a written testimony on the items being heard today. Please send any written testimony to landustetestimony@council.nyc.gov and include the land use number and project name in the email. So Lucy, if you can hear this and you can unmute.
Starting time.
I don't think that it's working as we continue to wait for Lucy. If Catherine Green Johnson would like to come, and if, as a reminder, if anybody else would like to, in person, would like to testify, please fill out one of these cards in the back. No problem. Maybe Mike.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Catherine Mbali Green Johnson. Sorry about the wardrobe difficulties. I'm excited to stand before you all today. I'm really passionate about this project. The Art Center means a lot for our community. We worked tirelessly in making sure that we received feedback from the neighborhood. I used to run an organization in East New York called Arts East New York and worked in collaboration and partnership with my colleagues in Brownsville to make sure that this came to fruition. This project holds profound implications for the future of our community and our city. And I speak from personal experience, having witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of the inequitable distribution of resources for our community. I've been a part of Arts East New York, an organization that had to close its doors due to the lack of funding distributed throughout the city. This was not just a closure, it left a void and a chasm in the lives of the people we served. It was a stark reminder of how funding for institutions and communities like ours have gone ignored for far too long. And just to share a reminder, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs this sector contributes significantly to the city's economy, generating billions of dollars in economic activity and supporting thousands and thousands of jobs. Yet despite the immense economic and cultural impact, certain communities like ours in East Brooklyn continue to be underrepresented and underserved when it comes to cultural funding and resources. The New York State and federal arts funding also demonstrates disparities. We, as Arts East New York, were the first organization to receive the National Endowment for the Arts in the East Brooklyn community. That was in 2016. I have more to share, but I think that it's a stark reminder of how inequitable the city has been, and this importance of this project to come to Brownsville.
Any questions?
Could you elaborate on it? Because I know in 2016, it was doing great. I was there. I went to a couple of events there. So could you explain the inequity of how our neighborhoods normally get left out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we were a part of a development project as well. We did not have a sweet deal like this one. We had to pay an exorbitant amount of rent and overhead. This opportunity provides the arts organizations and stakeholders that will be a part of it to be rent-free, or to share and collaborate on whatever resources are needed to keep the lights on. We did not have that luxury. And so, having to fight for funding, foundational funding, as well as the scarce amount of funding that was coming to Brownsville, East New York neighborhoods, as well as the federal and the state funding that we're competing against large institutions that were not coming our way. So, a small staff, small amount of people running an institution like that, can't compete. And so this opportunity it will bring the funds to the neighborhood. It will attract additional funds that comes to the community.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you. And I just want to, just for clarification from my own ears, earlier I had asked, and in case you were not here, I had asked the admin, could cultural space be flexible enough to be reduced for potential additional units? What I'm hearing you say, though, is the more cultural space, the more collaborative of a space it could be, so more folks could join in on having an opportunity of like low cost or free rent, more programming. So like we as a Bronxite, now including myself in Brooklyn, we want as much cultural space as possible for the arts, the STEAM opportunities that may be presented out there. Exactly. So I just want to clarify. Okay.
Exactly. And in addition to that, thank you for that question, it's the jobs that it will provide. I still work in the arts administration field, and we represent, Black and brown people represent less than 10% in this industry. It is time to change that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Councilmember Mealy, you have an additional question?
What is your outlook on the jobs that will be bringing to I forgot to ask the developers, because we always get just the construction jobs and then they go off and nothing really comes back, no real sustainable jobs for the community. So do you know what kind of budget you will have and how many people you think that with this, and that's why I made sure what was said to me, free, I brought it out here that we could keep on them to make sure that they don't say one thing and close doors, and here it is, we're in the open now. And if it doesn't happen, please get back to me. But what significant budget you can do now with hiring to sustain some jobs in our community?
Yeah.
Do you have an outlook on that?
Yeah, so I won't be a part of this project. I'm here in support of it. I still love the community, so I'm here to support it. But I know for sure Pure Elements, BRIC, Brownsville Arts Center, and the other stakeholders that would be a part of this, this project are providing jobs for young creatives. I know Pure Elements, and Kev, you can remind me of how many people you currently employ. It's about to be about 100 people, and most of those folks that work with Pure Elements are people who have gone through the program, and they come back into and they teach, and they have a sustainable income so that they can provide for their families. And just knowing that this covering their overhead can provide them to even, provide equitable wages, living wages for their employees, and be able to provide, health insurance and all the things that we need in the city to survive. And so that institution alone, that's one organization that will be a part of this project. That's what the power of the cultural institutions can bring, bringing in people from throughout East Brooklyn to partake in the performances that will take place at the Black Box Theater, bringing in additional income into the neighborhood, right? Going into the businesses that are along the Pekin Avenue corridor.
But if they can't park, how are they gonna come?
This is true, and this is something that we can work on together.
It's just, yes,
Hey.
they might, but,
I say.
it's a transit desert almost in Brownsville. So, that's the whole nother thing, and I just hope that we don't neglect, people want to live here just as well. Y'all may go back to your homes, but people in Brownsville who've been disenfranchised for a long time and may want to not live in a housing development anymore and want to live in a building with a nice foyer and everything. So we can't, off their backs just as well. There's got to be a balance for both.
Absolutely.
Arts is good, but quality of living is even better.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely. And if I could just add really quickly. So I've been displaced out of East Brooklyn. So not only my organization, but myself as well, my family, we cannot afford to live in East Brooklyn. And so I'm still here to represent the neighborhood, but I understand how that feels. And so I know I'm making it my business and being passionate about working with responsible developers so that we can make sure that the people in the neighborhood stay in the neighborhood and participate in these projects. Thank y'all so much for your time.
Thank you so much. You can always come to Staten Island. I know, I'm not kidding though. Thank you. So. So there being no questions in this panel, this witness is now excused. We're going to try our virtual person one more time.
So Lucy Sexton, we're giving you one more chance. If we're calling you up, but you need to accept to be unmuted in order for us to hear you. So we're going to just give you one more opportunity. And again, you can send any written comments to land use testimony@council.nyc.gov.
Thank you, Council. With there being no more than members of the public who wish to testify regarding the Brownsville Arts Center and Apartments proposal under ULURP number C240029, C240030 ZMK, and 240031 ZRK, the public hearing is now closed.